Hello and welcome. This is Uli's stream, and we will be playing Spider-Man today, the 2018 game. And one thing to point out is that there will be no music. I've actually turned off game sound at the moment. It will come back soon because YouTube is very picky, and apparently a lot of this music is from a movie soundtrack. Um, of a Spider-Man movie, and that is marked not to be broadcast on YouTube. And so that means if I included that music that is in this game, I wouldn't be able to put up this recording. So unfortunately, I cannot enter the game menu where you can turn off the music until a little bit into the first cutscene of the game. So there will be a split second or a little interruption at the very beginning. I hope you do not mind. Um, One more thing. What does Uli stream mean? Well, basically we practice what is called hard care gaming here. No, wait, that's the wrong one. Here. That means I'm an adventure game player. I like story. I like to discover and explore. I like puzzles. I'm not really a fan of timed events or, having to do game mechanics repeatedly. I like to figure things out, then execute them once. That's it. That is usually something that doesn't go well with non-adventure games in higher difficulties, which is why here I'm picking the friendly difficulty. So if you're an adventure game lover like me, then this should show you how difficult this game actually is in the end, and whether you want to uh, try to play this game or not. It might help you in your decision. Also, to point out, I am a software developer, so I know some things about how software is made, how the process works, how graphics programming works, what things are more or less difficult in computer programming and in game programming. So I will occasionally stop and smell the flowers and like point out game development aspects. I will point out game mechanics that I like, dislike, whatever. I would not be playing this game if I didn't like it so far, as I at least try the beginning of a game before I decide whether to stream it or not. Um, so that means that whenever I say something negative about this game, it's meant from a technical point of view and from the point of view of someone who, thinks about how do you make a game, how would I make a game. It's that I'm interested in it. I do not criticize games because they're bad. These are many of the things I will point out are tiny nitpicks or conscious decisions by the game designers that are just a matter of taste that I would do them differently. Maybe there will be a few little bugs, but every game has bugs, and as long as they're not game-breaking bugs, really, who cares, But I like to point out, glitches or things because many games these days are perfect, and it's also refreshing to see, okay, maybe this glitch is a smaller thing. Okay, so let's start. Friendly. We'll play with subtitles and subtitle background, so it's a little easier to read on the stream. Um, I don't think we need the big subtitles. Hell, we're not gonna skip puzzles. Um, so I think that's good. The QuickTime events in this game, I found them not horribly interesting, but also not horribly annoying. They are not that frequent, so I'm not going to skip those. If you want to know what this game is like, many people have probably played the game Batman Arkham Asylum or heard about it. It's fairly recent. It's from what is it? 2009. Um, and this game has a similar feel, really, um, in many ways. That doesn't necessarily mean that, like for one, every game in this genre looks at Arkham and says, yeah, we want to be like that. So I don't think that is something that we should, um, if you do not try to emulate the Arkham games, then you're not trying hard enough. They're a milestone in that genre. That said, if you go back a little bit to 2004, so 5 years before the first Arkham Asylum game, you will notice that there was a game named Spider-Man 2 by Activision and Treyarch. And that game actually has many of the elements that this game has already. It's not as polished. I am told that the combat was rougher and it wasn't as good, and there were no counters and things like that. But all in all, this game is very much in the tradition of that 2004 game. So it's not as if someone, after a long string of bad Spider-Man games, went and said, okay, I'll just file off the serial numbers of a Batman game and turn it into a Spider-Man game. Not at all. This has a long history. Alright, so I've turned off the music, I've turned on game audio again, so we can hopefully continue now and enjoy this game's first cutscene. By the way, I will be talking over it a little bit. There is not that much speech. I will try to avoid to speak when others are speaking, but I cannot 100% guarantee it. This is not a movie made from the pieces of a game. This is gameplay and commentary with the game running, basically. So if you like a quiet Let's Play, search for quiet Let's Play or Let's Play no voiceover or something like that. So that looks like it's May and Uncle Ben and a younger Uncle Ben and May, I guess. Or is it Peter's parents? I don't know. And that was Peter and May basically today. And here those are interesting plans. And these little red things, by the way, are the web shooters that Peter has. They look a little different than in the comics. I first thought it was like a little drone or something. Osborn, it's not secrecy, it's survival. We all know Norman Osborn. Oh, and he doesn't spend money on vacation, but on the new laptop. Okay, there's a voltmeter and some electronics built into the eyes of the mask. His screen seems to be a little cracked. That's why he needs the new laptop, I guess. Fisk, Crusader or criminal? Rhino's rampage roadblocked. Vulture squawks. They have the rumble pack.
All units, level 4 mobilization. Location, Fisk Tower.
Fisk?
The rumble pack goes when the phones buzz. That's nice. I'm not too big a fan of rumble. But that's a fun use, I guess. If you don't overdo the rumble. Spidey Crusher versus Hogan, something about the spider. So I guess that's from Peter's wrestling career. Pay your bills, Peter. Oops.
SWAT is 1084 Fisk Tower. All units stand by. Warrant is en route.
Yeah, this is more interesting. Okay, this is all still cutscene, as you see. Hold R2 to swing. Okay, so they throw us right out of the cutscene, which I like, into web slinging, which, you know, is
Watanabe.
Did you take him down yet?
No, we're at this tower, but still waiting on the warrant.
Whoa,
If I join in on the
really
fun?
You
fly.
know how his lawyers are. This one needs to go by the book.
Come on, Yuri. I've been waiting 8 years for this.
You really want to help?
Oops.
Head to
Okay,
Times
no,
Square. Sounds
so
like
the-
these guys are trying to keep my backup from reaching the scene.
Sorry.
You got it. Almost there.
Okay, so he's heading to Fisk Tower, and the Yuri Watanabe, I think is her name, the police captain he's working with, is talking to him. And the web swinging is actually really nice. Like the 2004 game is well known for having a really great web swinging mechanic, where it was the first time that they did these arcs. And basically they're doing that as well. It's really nice. You can like swing and he will just stick onto something nearby. Oh, you can even look into the rooms. That's interesting. Makes everything look a lot more real. Amazing. And you don't have to aim at anything to jump to web sling. Like it will pick like the nearest building, a point on the nearest building, but you kind of have to there has to be a building nearby. Whoops, sorry.
Jerk.
Wait, you can say hi. You see that? Alright, press X to jump, then R2 to swing. Or, one trick that they'll teach us later, which makes you a lot faster, is just shooting
hello?
towards this thing.
Where are you? We must run through the demonstration at least once before the grant committee arrives.
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Dealing with a personal issue. I'll be in soon. Promise. Better wrap this up quick than get to my real job.
But, yeah. So, I'm not super good at this web swinging, as you see, but it's fairly intuitive, and you can even like random button mashing essentially lets you get there pretty well, and it's fast and it's acrobatic. It's how web slinging, like how you'd expect Spider-Man swinging through the skyscrapers to feel. It's amazing.
We need more backup! 1032, Times Square. Officers under fire.
Bring in the hammer.
It's a bit ridiculous that he was using his horn when he was driving into them. Like, if you want to surprise attack them, why would you use your horn?
Get it!
Morning, guys. Who's ready for their hot, fresh cup of bodily harm?
Okay. Now they're teaching us how to use the buttons. Your spider sense will flash around your head to warn of incoming attacks. When you see this, get ready to dodge. So dodge is the circle key.
Gotta warn you, I'm feeling punchy today. Next customer.
So I'm basically pushing one button and using the other one to dodge occasionally. That's it. So it's very Arkham-like like the combat.
Shoot him!
Whoops. I've forgot to read whatever it said below there. Whoops. And I pushed the wrong button. But the jump button works as well, it seems.
Man, Fisk has a lot of guys on his payroll.
Spider-Man, what's your
I
status?
think I just webbed
Almost
someone
done here. You?
to the car.
Go in.
Be there soon. Can't wait to see Willie's face when you slap the cuffs on him.
And it's cool like how they connect the different things that Spidey can do. Okay, hold it to do an air launch. Okay. And then you can actually fly. Isn't that amazing?
Okay, Yuri, all done. What's happening?
That doesn't sound good.
Yuri!
And they're throwing you back into
Fisk wouldn't go quietly.
web slinging. Which is cool. You know, I like the liquid way with which they but it still requires a bit of concentration on my part. I'm sorry that I'm so quiet. I should be talking more.
Get more backup. And lock down the airspace.
Yuri, you okay?
If he makes it out of that building, we're gonna lose him.
I'm gonna go,
Do your thing.
It's also nice that they're collaborating.
Heads up! Hey, where you going? Get! I'll clear a path. Follow me!
Get out of here, Spider-Man. We got this.
Build focus by attacking enemies. You do more damage when you have more focus. Increase your combo count to gain focus faster. Earn bonus focus during air combat. So combos are basically hitting the square button several times in a row and hitting an enemy several times or hitting several enemies without being interrupted. Kind of like in combos on Batman Arkham Asylum games.
Sorry to break it to you, but you do not got this, buddy. Oh, thanks for the confidence boost, guys.
Get him!
Ooh, I took a little bit of damage. That wasn't what I wanted.
I guess this is what they call a
I
hostile
guess I got
workplace.
them. And building focus means whoops. Oh wow. I'm taking a lot more damage than I thought. Building focus basically means healing, or getting power for healing, or at least for something else. So that was the last one, as you can tell from the slow motion. Use focus to heal. The more focus you have, the more you will heal. Okay, press down to heal. That's nice because it's the same button combination as on Horizon Zero Dawn, which I previously played.
Gotta take those shooters out. Hope you got insurance.
Yeah, I webbed him to the floor. Nice.
Come on, come on! They shut the elevators down! Take the stairs!
I prefer a more direct approach.
So this is a very fast game in some ways, but it's also, you know, like if you're randomly button mashing.
Status.
Heading to the upper floors and hoping nobody turns on the elevators.
Our choppers are taking fire. Looks like Fisk has armed men on every floor.
He's desperate.
And he's hitting us with everything he's got.
I have to find him and end this.
Not yet. We just picked up chatter. They're wiping all their data servers. We need that evidence if we want to put him away for good.
Okay, server room it is. Call from May. Better answer. Hi, Aunt May.
What is all that noise?
Watching a superhero movie. What's up?
I just wanted to make sure we're still on for dinner tomorrow night.
Totally. Listen, I gotta go.
Well, okay. Love you.
Love you too.
Hostile! Next floor up!
That's my cue.
Spider-Man! Kill him!
Well, yeah, so, you know, you don't have to be a super pro gamer to get far here. Kind of, it's mainly, you know, pressing the same button to attack and another one to dodge. Where are the enemies? Oh, there's one. Missed one, I guess. Yeah, okay. That was the last one. Now it's stopped me somehow. A full focus bar can be used to perform a finisher that instantly knocks out an enemy. Oh, there are new enemies back there.
Hold him so he can't jump around!
How exactly do you think this ends well for you?
Okay, that's cool.
I'm in an ass-kicking mood!
I like those,
You got this!
On to the next one.
oh, that's nice.
Take him down!
It will not quite as often show you the keys you can press, I think. I think those may be like the finisher, I think, shows up.
Evidence left.
Gotta find the way before there's no evidence left. Okay.
If I go in this way, they'll destroy all the evidence. I should look for a sneaky way in.
Okay.
There we go.
I can go up there. Okay.
It's like my own private ventrance.
Also, I love that
Maybe a
the
dirty criminal, but he has remarkably clean air vents.
that's a nice, you know, knock on all the games where air vents are clean and large enough for people to walk through. And also, I love that he does the typical Spider-Man jokes. They're really good at that.
They're so cute when they're oblivious.
Okay.
Halfway there. Need another minute or two. Think the cops know where we are? Don't worry about out there. Worry about in here.
Is this tech support? I forgot my password.
Spider-Man! Don't let him near the console!
And like most of these acrobatics, you know, are not keys that I specifically press, but rather I just press dodge, and he does one of a number of things that make sense in the context.
Gotta access that console before everything's gone.
So it's
Just
pretty.
how good their security is.
It looks a lot better
Got the
than
latest kernel patch.
what I do.
Hiding in the server.
I forgot the latest kernel patch.
Even for you.
Says the guy frantically erasing his search history.
After all these years, you're still just an ignorant child.
True, but that's part of my charm, isn't it?
Damn you. Get that door down now! Get past him. Destroy everything. Look around you. I did this. Whatever you ever done mattered.
Well, there was that time I took down a pompous, overstuffed crime lord before breakfast.
Without me, the
Oh,
scum I
that's
kept
cool.
in check
Okay,
would run rampant.
so you can do like complex things if you want to.
Been a long, tough road, Fisk. Almost sad to see it end.
Brave.
We'll get ready for the main event.
Yeah, it showed me the finisher again. That's nice. Okay. The finisher is a little weird because you press two buttons at once. They're like, you know, you have 4 buttons there, so as long as they're not across from each other, it's easy. Like to the top and the right button you can press with your thumb by just laying it over. But it's a little finicky, I think, and I don't have very large hands, you know, so but it works for like a finisher, I guess.
I saw it. Fisk could have the whole place wired. I'm sending in a bomb unit.
I'll make sure no one gets in their way.
Okay, so let's get up there. Whoops, my health is a little low.
I think that's all of them.
Alright. Where do I go now? Up there.
It's clear. Move up.
Hey guys, I guess bombs are part of Willie's getaway plan? Sounds like they're trapped.
You go after them. We'll look for the bombs.
Alright.
Trapped by the last explosion. I gotta get him out. Everyone clear out! Evacuate the building! Hello? Those people need a way.
And I mean, in most cases, like events like this,
I'll find them.
it's basically a better quick time event, but it's okay because you know that it feels special purpose. It doesn't feel like monkey turn crank to get next gameplay.
Spider-Man! We can't move! We're pinned down!
I'll lift it. When you're free,
This-
get out fast. If you can walk, help the injured. Got it?
Okay, and this is like our first like genuine quick time event. It's not so amazing, but it's okay. You know, and it works. It's a quote from like there's one scene where Spider-Man like has to push like he's never pushed before. That was the rumble. My whole controller is shaking. Disgusting. Yeah, they're overdoing the rumble a little bit.
Coming your way.
Spider-Man, it's Yuri.
How we doing, Captain?
Could be better. Our choppers took a beating. We just had to ground our last one. If Fisk calls in a chopper, we have no one to stop it from landing.
And no one to chase him if he flies away.
Why do I get the feeling that's what he was planning all along?
Because he probably was. Damn. Yuri, get EMTs up here, fast!
We're trying.
Jesus.
Coming! That's enough out of you.
But basically, you can like with the same
More rockets?
2 or 3 keys, you can get very far. So it's kind of like you can develop habits, and you don't even have to. At least in this game mode, maybe on hard it's different. You don't have to use the dodge
National
key here.
Rocket Day or something?
Whoops. You can actually, like, if you're jumping towards them, that's enough to dodge the rocket. And the prompts are consistent. Like pulling a door open is the same as pulling an object and swinging it at an enemy, which is nice.
Man, how'd the bomb squad guys get through this?
And this, basically the running that you do up walls is the same key as this parkour combination they just told us.
Settle down. I've got enough for everybody.
Okay, wall attack, I managed that, how they prompted it.
Get down here and fight like a man.
It's basically you can
Room is clear.
achieve a
Bomb squad
lot
must
by
be
button
somewhere
mashing.
ahead. Hope they're okay.
They're okay, okay. Can I heal? Yeah, okay. So let's go in there.
You guys all right?
We were just about to call for backup.
I think I'm it.
Lead the way. We'll be right behind you. Heads up, boss.
And as a longtime reader of the comic, shield enemies block attacks from the front, but are vulnerable from the back. Tap triangle to web strike.
So you guys were in bed with Fisk all along? Oh no, I'll never get that image out of my head. So your plan didn't work. On to plan B, getting kicked in the face. Shoot him already.
Okay, got that one as well. Now only need to get this one. Whoops. Whoops, I'm pushing the wrong button. Alright. My fingers slipped.
Hey, Yuri. Looks like some of your guys were on Fisk's payroll. Good news is, they were Willie's last line of defense. I'm right outside his office.
Take him down, now.
With pleasure.
I wonder what happens if I run over there. Can I go out there? No. I can run up walls. Here. As a reader of the comics, I like that they use the spider sense. Like, Spidey never really had a radar like this. Like, that's something that feels like it's an Arkham thing, like Batman had his detective vision. And, I mean, I don't think Batman had anything like detective vision in the comics. But, you know, it's, it feels, you know, like it feels a good concession to having to find stuff in games constantly and kind of having to figure out what to interact with and things like that. Whereas the spider sense that they use to alarm him when he's being attacked, that's something that he that he actually has in the comics, and that has that same visual appearance in the comics with those buzzing lines coming from his head. So that's a really a great integration here, even though, you know, you see it in Arkham as well. It's not stolen from Arkham. It's totally a Spider-Man thing, which I like. I guess I'm kind of defending this from Arkham because, like, what I heard is... And, I mean, Arkham is the most famous game with these mechanics right now, so it makes sense. The most recent one that has really gained accolades. By the way, I'm a bit of a controller noob. I only started gaming a couple years ago.
Writing your memoirs? Don't forget the hyphen between spider and man.
Get the chopper ready. I won't be long. I'm surprised you made it this far. But your foolishness ends now.
You do know I can still see you, right?
8 years of this insolence.
Oh, for me? You shouldn't have. Gotta wait for an opening. It's reloading.
What are you doing?
Just shooting them so they can't shoot and shooting back. And I didn't even have to aim that last one.
What's wrong, Willie? You seem angry.
I will destroy you!
Take your best shot.
I knew this one was coming, that's why.
That gave me an opening.
Tiresome annoyance!
Hang in there. It'll be over.
Oops. Let's see until my web shooter has recharged. Okay. Because I need a full charge of web shooter to get him.
You're out of your depth, boy!
Not this time.
Okay, hit him some more. The spider sense thing. Whoops. Stayed close to him too long because I mistook some buttons. No, I didn't want to duck under him, I just wanted to get away. Until my web shooters recharge. No, pull back in. So kind of kite him along a bit.
You asked for
Come on, web shooter, recharge. Okay. Whoops. Okay, that's the next cutscene. Just thinking I did something wrong. It's kind of nice. You go like, oh god, I lost. No, no. It's just how the fight continues.
What's wrong with this city?
I was gonna say the same to you.
You know what to do, men.
Surround it! Everyone engage!
Oh,
You asked for this!
You fool! Trained to fight, don't fight!
Too bad!
I don't want
whoops.
excuses.
That wasn't good.
Die as uselessly as what do I pay you for?
Eat that! You won't do that twice!
Ah, crap. That other guy got in the way. Whoops.
Take him down!
Ah, crap.
No! I can handle myself! Imbecile! Where are the reinforcements?
At least while I'm in the air, he can't get me. Oh, what did I step into? What was that? Something went boom a couple of times. That's interesting, I didn't have that in the fights before. Did he like take a swing at me?
Gonna teach you respect! Let's rush him!
Whoops.
Bring him down already! Hands up! Keep that board! Smoke him!
Oh, whoops. Do they have them all? No, not yet. You still need to be taken care of. Oops, he actually got me in the air. That's not nice. Oops. Oop. Okay. Do that again. Okay. Okay, the jump button is... Oops. Okay, the fire was what got me the last time, I guess. So stay away from the fire. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Fire. Oop. Oh, crap. Is there another thug in here? No. Oh, crap. I wanted to get that one. Okay, I got to the next cutscene. It's a little annoying that these boss fights don't have health bars. Oh. Because usually games like this have them. And these quick-time events are very generous, by the way. I'm not even sure you have to hit them at all.
So, should we kiss now? Yeah, maybe later.
But anyway, that's like the worst part for me are these timed things like quick time events and other things where you have to be fast. Because that's not really why I'm here for games. But you know, they're not doing it. You know, they're not doing it too much that it would annoy me, and there's so much game in between.
Finally
So
off to
that's nice.
Rikers, huh? You know, I think you've got more enemies in there than I do.
If you think this will be more than a minor inconvenience...
Whoop, gotta go. Hey, good luck, Willie. I have a feeling you're gonna need it.
Idiot! I'm the one who kept order in this city! 1 month! In 1 month you'll wish you had me back!
The Kingpin is heading to prison. End of an era. I feel like I should celebrate. Maybe take a vacation.
Ooh. Level 1, 10 health. Access the skill tree. And you have leveled up and earned a skill point. Press X to continue. Skill points are awarded when you gain enough experience points. Complete missions and defend enemies to gain experience and earn more skill points. Okay, so I can pick anything here. So these look like the most stealthy... Whoops. Things you can do. So I think I'll go with that tree first. I mean, being able to throw enemies is not really what I want, but like the next few skills below it, so I have to. Alright. Because I just made the experience in actually in previous playthroughs, I guess, that, and you know, like I like stealth, so I'm gonna try to train so I can do that and be more stealthy. And there were a few maneuvers where I was, like, I didn't have the tool set to actually be quieter. So where do we go now? Oh. And so now they're...
Parker, where are you? The committee will be here soon. We need to run an equipment check.
I'm almost there. Blocks away.
Guess I'll just do it myself.
No, don't. It's not safe. Gotta love Doc's enthusiasm, but sometimes it gets him into trouble. Better get there before he hurts himself.
Like you can control the web slinging a bit. Oh, L3 was the dive. Oops, I should have remembered to let go. Oh, cool. Okay. Hold R2 to swing from a dive for greater speed. Okay, R2. Okay, that's getting complicated now. a dive punch, apparently. Oops. Let's just keep swinging normally and see where that gets us. Oops, on the wall, I guess. They're all a little...
Please, don't ask me to do the hand thing.
You're scared. You are so cool.
Sorry, I'm usually web swinging.
Hey!
kind of telling me, okay, I should probably be up swinging. Oops, where should I go? Somewhere over there. I guess let's run up here and see. And here we are. Okay, good. Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm late. Oh. You started without me.
The grant committee's director will be here soon. It's fine, Parker. I invented this equipment. I think I can handle it.
Power damper. Oh, man. Maybe we should abort.
Not yet.
Hold on! Dr. Octavius, are you okay?
Another setback. But we're close.
Is anyone hurt?
No, it was all my fault.
The energy levels exceeded our expectations. From a certain viewpoint, that's a very positive development.
It doesn't smell very positive.
I assure you, in the next phase...
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Is there somewhere else we can discuss this?
Maybe you should take the rest of the day off, Peter. But we'll talk later.
That was a disaster. How could the dampener have failed? I know Doc said take the day off, but I have to figure out what went wrong.
I'm glad that they let you run here. Like originally when I first tried this, I thought you couldn't run here. And you know, at this leisurely walk, it gets annoying pretty quickly when you return here several times and have to do little things.
Ooh, you are in bad shape, little guy.
So apparently it can like turn sideways and that's about it. Yeah.
Let's see what's wrong with you.
Okay, and this is
Circuit burned out. Damn it. If I had been here to do the pre-check, I would have caught this.
power for the arm is damaged. Press X to continue. Create a connection between the green start piece and the orange end piece. Yeah, so this is you know, like your run-of-the-mill hacking puzzle kind of. But you know, it's not too bad, and I actually like these little logic puzzles, so it's okay. And I like that they integrated it fairly well with you know, the gameplay, kind of with the logic here. It makes sense that you might have circuits and that there might be spots where there are elements and you have to reroute something because something else burned, and you might not have, you know, much money. I can kind of think that, you know, that's I mean, basically it's pipes, the game, you know, where you build drainage pipes, and at some point water will flow in it. If you haven't finished your pipe by then, it'll flow out, just that this one doesn't have the timer on it. So it's actually a pretty fun little game. It's a game mechanic. Totally enjoy this puzzle.
Okay, need to reroute servo control.
And it gets gradually more complicated, of course. I guess this could be one of these. Has to be. Let's see, so I guess it has to go through here because we can't go down here. So the path backwards is actually easier to find because it's defined which pieces have to go where much more strongly. Nope. That piece is the wrong way around, so remove. But we have this one. One more. Oh, wait. I can use this one here. Don't think it makes a difference, but better, like the directional pieces, if they fit somewhere, I use them first, because that means the ones that don't have a direction, like these yellow arrows, I can use elsewhere.
Okay, what next? And now rebalance the voltage.
In order to set the power voltage control, you must also meet its charge requirement. Some circuit pieces provide a positive or negative charge. Okay, that also doesn't feel too hard. So, like, this one will only fit green pieces, this one will only fit red pieces. You can rotate them, but that's about it. And we need to end up at 3. So the red piece is -1, which means we need to provide 4 to go down to 3 again. So if we do this one here and this one here, we're at 3. 2 minus 1 plus 2. 2 minus 1 is 1, plus 2 is 3. So that's basic maths. Hey, even I can do that.
Finished.
And you know, I like that they don't just have puzzles, but they kind of try to integrate them with the game world and with like the task that you have. I'm not sure if that they'll keep, you know, it could just be that every time you encounter a circuit you need to hack, that will be how you do it, you know, you just resolder a few components on the board, quote unquote.
Let's see
But
if
that
worked.
would work for me.
Good as new.
It doesn't really let me stretch it out to the side or something, though. But hey, it's fun. It's good.
Doc's been testing new materials for the prosthetics. He asked me to review his work if I had time. May as well dig in now.
What do we have here? Oh, I think I changed the channel now.
Love the coffee at work. God bless that grant money.
Grant money. What's this?
We're trying to improve the prosthetics hardware. I should review what Doc's been developing and double-check his work.
Circuit purchase will unlock as you progress through the game. Okay. Oh, so these are more of the circuits we already did.
Actuator's granularity.
Okay, so let's see. Again, up here is more limited because we can pretty much only put these parts here. You know, because here is the end, so the only way to go to an empty piece is down. Here, of course, again, there's a blocking piece here, so it has to go to the right. Then here, there is a blocking piece below and already a fixed piece above. So, again, it has to be a straight piece. And here again, it has to be a corner piece, because there's no other way to go. Again, straight piece here. And now here, since we need to go over here, and there is a blocking piece here, there's no point in going down here. So pretty much our path is predefined. So going backwards is often
Super smooth response.
the easier way to get through one of these problems.
See if we can tune the prosthetic's grip force.
Again, there's only one way to go. Here is another spot where there's only one way to go. More. More. Again, only one way to go. Again. Yeah, so basically you just follow it. It's a really simple one if you take the blocked pieces. And the charge worked because I didn't have to set any charge.
That's better. Should avoid bone-crushing handshakes at least.
Okay. So we finished more circuit projects. What's this?
Today's the day. Grant review. We're ready. The work has progressed at a remarkable pace. I honestly never thought we'd get the tensile actuator back to an acceptable tolerance. But Parker, the boy has an eye for guerrilla science like none other. Just as I was ready to order a custom machine replacement part, he returned from the hardware store with a bottle of solvent and a toothbrush. Bang! Actuator problem resolved. The boy is a genius. A chronically late genius. It's already 10 after. Where is he? Surely he couldn't have forgotten today's review.
Sorry I let you down, Doc.
That's also, like, typically Spider-Man. I love that they're taking these elements, like that they didn't just gloss over those elements, but actually put them in here. That, you know, Peter is always kind of the troubled young person who's, you know, stressed out and has to juggle being Spider-Man and earning money and, you know, being at university or something. Like in the comic, he's a photographer for a newspaper, and that's a freelance photographer, by the way, not like a staff position. So he constantly has to take pictures and try to sell them, and it's a very unstable job. And then he's studying at university, and he's being Spider-Man. And here they've kind of combined the two jobs. Like this is a job at the university, and he's no longer working as a photographer. But you know, he still has to like pay his way through college and things. So he has real life problems on top of being a superhero, and because he spends so much time being a superhero, other people kind of feel let down when he's late or something, and he can't tell them why he is late.
Peter, thank you again for doing these blind reviews. Peer review is the backbone of great science. You know, as we've prepped for the upcoming fitting, I felt an itch in the back of my brain. Is this really the best method of limb replacement? Silly, I know, but I keep thinking, might there be another way?
I like this Otto Octavius. He's a really cool scientist.
Doc was testing a new contact material for the prosthetic.
Your goal is to identify the unknown substance by its absorption spectrum. Use fragments of the unknown substance on the left and try to match up the absorption lines in the spectrum. So those lines it's pointing at. Okay. Use L to move your cursor. Press X to pick up a fragment. Okay. The one thing that I don't really like about this is like they put a mouse cursor in here basically, and this is the console. You know, they should have. I wonder why they didn't do this like the puzzle, the circuit puzzle, where you know, like you would go like pick one, like select between one of select one of these and then rotate through the options that are available, you know. Okay, let's see. We want something with 2 in the back. Place the fragment into an available slot and try to match up the absorption lines. Press X to continue. Okay, now I can continue. That was a little surprising why it didn't move until I saw the message. Okay, that fits. That fits as well. And there is such a thing as chromatography, which is basically sticking a piece of paper with like different... I think they have like tracks for stuff to detect or something like that. Or not even... Like it's paper that pulls in liquids. And so if you stick it in a liquid, liquids will, you know, like absorb and kind of go up, and depending on what liquid it is, certain parts of it will go farther than others, and so you will get like different colored stains and things like that, and from those you can like and some will like go paler, and some will just go through different colors as less and less of the liquid goes all the way up when it's absorbed into the paper. So like you only stick the bottom of the paper into the liquid. And so that's a real thing where in the end result is that you get like a paper that like analyzes the colors and puts lines in there representing like in which spot, like, you know, like the brown colors or whatever, well, anyway, this is something that's roughly exists in real life, so it's nice that they based it on that. And those also get more complicated over time. It's kind of a nice...
Polymer composite. Strong, but there's a lot of impedance. Better tell Doc to keep looking for other materials.
So they're kind of going through a lot of effort to...
Alright. I should get out of here before I screw things up for Doc even more.
Additional spectrograph projects are available, so let's try those. But yeah, this game has a lot of mini games and things where you feel like they had the game and kind of tried to, you know, like theme it to fit the game. I think they're okay. I'm not sure whether you couldn't have done something different and the game would have been better. You know, I think that is the chance. They kind of didn't like try something really innovative in that regard. It's...
What was Doc working on with this?
It's a bit paint by numbers in that regard. But, you know, I still like it. It's okay. It's fun enough. It's not like that I will go to people and say, hey, play this game because it has these minigames.
Beautiful.
Polydimethyl siloxane. Okay, whatever that is. Is that something I should recognize?
Looks like another potential prosthetic contact material.
Some unknown substances require multiple fragments to be stacked in a column. If 2 absorption lines overlap, they combine into a thicker absorption line. Like, this is where I'm not sure if that actually exists, like that 2 elements kind of show up like this, and you kind of have to say, okay, this means it's those 2 elements, and not like a 3 with a 1 or something, but rather It's, I don't know, 2 2s I think we'll have to do here. Oh no, actually that's the one in the back. Actually, this 2. So I'm not sure if overlaps like these exist. I guess they could. Okay, so the 2 in the back. And then we have the 3 in the back here. That fits. But I like this. Visual puzzles are always fun. Can I use something twice? 2. Oh, those work. Okay. This one in the front. And this one in the back. But I wonder whether that's eventually something that can happen to you, that you use one that fits in 2 spots and then realize that you need it for the...
This looks promising. Bet it'd be a great tissue interface.
Okay, so I guess we've done all of those. There are hands here. Lots of hands. I'm sorry, sir. Can you lend me a hand? Where is... I thought there was another interaction point somewhere here that I'd just seen. Maybe I saw a light again. Huh. I guess not. Then I guess... Oh. They're talking. That's a nice detail, you know, that they didn't just have them go into a closed room and, you know, save a lot of money animating that and things like that, but they actually used a room that I can look into. So I can tell that he's now really talking to them. I mean, they said, you know, they would talk to him, so it's not as if it's a surprise, but it just makes the world feel more real. Even if this shop window thing is a bit, you know, it feels like a shop window, something made for me to see something without going in, you know. Like many games have those impenetrable glass walls, you know, where you see that big enemy killing someone, so you know this is how this enemy
Spider-Man,
works.
It's Yuri.
Fisk make it to Rikers yet?
Not Rikers. Our boy qualifies for the VIP treatment. He's in the raft.
Ah, joining Scorpion, Electro, and the rest. Fisk should be honored. That's a steamed company.
Can you swing by the precinct? Got an issue that could benefit from your unique skill set.
For you, Yuri? Anything. I'm on my way.
Alright. And there's our point.
Looks like Jameson's got a new episode out. Wonder what my #1 fan thinks about the Fisk takedown.
This is Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson, where listeners like you discuss the issues affecting our city with Pulitzer Prize-winning two-time Pulitzer Prize-winning former publisher of the Daily Bugle.
Hey, plug the book.
And as always, if you order Mr. Jameson's book, Spider-Man, Threat or Menace, within 24 hours of our broadcast, you'll get an autographed copy at no extra charge.
No personalization. Don't ask. Not gonna get it. Welcome to Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson, alerting you to the threats you don't even know about. Let's dive right into the cause. Speak.
Okay, so not for nothing. You gotta give Spider-Man respect for taking down Wilson Fisk, right? I mean, one less mob boss is good for everyone.
Is that right? Tell me, are you a police officer? Prosecutor? Maybe an award-winning reporter with decades on the job like me?
No, I'm a plumber.
Oh, good. Then fix my toilet and Shut up! Let me explain something to you about crime bosses. As soon as one goes down, every punk with a gun, a tracksuit, and a drawer full of gold chains decides he's the next godfather. We're gonna have a gang war in the streets, but does that whip-headed moron give a damn? Of course not. He got on TV. That's what counts.
Yeah, well, I can get copper pipe without paying kickbacks. So until that gang war starts, I'm on the webhead side.
And you'll be singing a different tune when 3 new mobs are lining up to charge you triple for that same pipe. Or just break your legs. Goodbye!
Someday, Jonah. I'm gonna get you to say something nice about me. Someday.
Ooh, I love these Jonah Jameson. Like you know, Jonah is like that pundit, and his personality is like part of Spider-Man. So even if they don't have him in here as like a character that's needed for the plot, it's good to have him in there as like you know, like he can provide a lot of exposition just by ranting about it. And there we are. So that's a cool idea, I think.
Now that you quit smoking, what do you tell people when you come up here?
That I need a break from their crap.
Fair enough. So, why'd you call? Need a date to the policeman's ball?
You got a black and white suit? No ball this year anyway. We spent too much integrating Oscorp's surveillance tech.
Worth it though, right?
It was. Till an hour ago. The system went down. Citywide. Every tower.
How?
They tell me someone sabotaged the central server, and now all the towers are offline.
Inside job?
Maybe. I'll figure it out later. Right now, we need to get the towers back online. Fast.
And you called me? Aw, that's sweet.
I called someone I could trust. Plus, the signals are scrambled and we have no idea how to fix it.
Ooh. I love a challenge.
You break it, you buy it.
I thought you trusted me. Let's take a look at this tower.
I like the conversation. Like it's fun. Like I'm not quite sure. Like I think she seemed too honest in that irony. You know, like it seemed like the animator kind of went like, "Hey, do you have a suit?" So she's actually thinking about taking him to the ball, and I don't think there's really, like the way they talk. I'm not sure if there's an attraction there. You know, so that doesn't quite fit the story, but it's fun, like to have like them, you know, kind of arguing like an old couple in some ways, you know, and she's a cool character, you know, like otherwise you would have probably, like, you could have done this with Captain Stacy or something, but you know, then the question is, why is Gwen not in the game and things like that. So I totally understand that they wanted to sidestep that. Or, you know, also not mentioning, because like Captain Stacy is a character that has a whole story attached to him. So you would at least mention, you know, does he have a daughter? Is she still alive or is she dead? And if you think, well, that's a good story, you know, that you could always tell in a second game. You know, because, I mean, this game, I don't think it's a spoiler to say that this game has a Mary Jane in it. So this is later in Spider-Man's career. But what many movies and games have done these times is just to basically sort of swap Mary Jane and Gwen out, Gwen Stacy. So that Mary Jane is his girlfriend in the beginning, because that's the current girlfriend. And then they can always tell the Gwen Stacy's story later by having him break up with MJ, hook up with Gwen, then do the whole Hobgoblin thing, and then, you know, in the next game he can be back with Mary Jane or whatever. Or sometimes they even, like, swap it the other way around.
Input bands have been shifted. Subtle.
So where they went, and, that's about right, I think. It's too finicky. You know, where they just made, like, Mary Jane be the one who gets killed, and then he hooks up with Gwen Stacy for the rest of the show.
We just had a tower come back online. Was that you?
Not just a pretty mask, huh?
Whatever you did, any chance you could do it to the other towers?
Sure, but just so you know, I had to sync up with the tower to fix it. I'm seeing all crime data in the area now. Looks like there's a break-in happening near me.
Great. I've got units nearby.
Don't bother. I'm on it.
I also, like, I wonder now what Spidey's, like, how Spidey's computers work. Like, does he have a Raspberry Pi in there or whatever?
It's my back.
Like, he obviously, like, he has some sort of, you know, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or some interface. He has a cell phone in there. So, you know, like, I guess he...
Sure these guys didn't forget their keys.
Like, I guess he built an iPhone, basically, or a smartphone in general, into his suit now. Which, you know, makes sense. Every one of us carries that with him. And he's, like, enough of a hacker that he would probably do that. And, you know, like, enough of a hardware person as well.
I can't reach you! So, let's make this...
Enemies with melee weapons block most attacks, but are vulnerable to air launch attacks, webs, and throwables. Okay. So... hold square to perform an air launch. Whoops. Not evading enough, I think. Whoops.
Hey, cut that out! All of us!
Okay. Oh, we air launched the wrong one now. Okay, we got them all. Those people over there just walking and not even noticing. Is that how New York is?
Wrapped up.
Thanks for that. Now I'm seeing an assault near you.
You're in luck, Yuri. Your favorite tough but lovable, grizzled, seen-too-much detective is in town.
What? No. You promised you wouldn't do that any...
Spider Cop.
Please, no.
That's also like it's... she's too horrified by this. Like, it makes for a fun scene. But, like, you know, she should be like a hard-boiled cop. So oh, you can even run around between buildings. That's nice.
So you're the snitch?
Back off, creep.
Yep, she's the one.
I said back off! Leave me alone!
Keep it quiet, lady.
Don't touch me!
That's something that they... I guess that's something that they have in Arkham as well, where Batman occasionally just drops in after a cutscene like this. But I like these transitions. They're really nice.
Get away from her!
Oh, crap. Spider-Man!
Brutes will block your melee attacks. Use webs and throwables to make them vulnerable. Good, that's the guy in the hoodie behind us, I guess.
You ain't your cowboy!
And so, basically how you deal with him is, whoops, the same way as with Fisk. Whoops. And that also means I might die as much as with Fisk? No. Okay, we got that one. Whoops. Just knocked me off the street light. Whoops.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Whoops. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not going too well. Okay, that worked.
Walk away now, or she's dead.
Let me go!
Okay, use the L to aim at the target and press R1 to disarm them. Whoops. So I guess after the tutorial that will be on a timer as well.
All clear, ma'am.
I knew Jameson was wrong about you. You're a little weird, but you got a good heart.
Have you got somewhere to go?
I can take care of myself.
I'm sure you can, but just in case, there's a place called the Feast Center.
Seen it. I don't want charity.
They got the best wheat cakes in the city, hands down.
Mom used to make those. Haven't had any in a long time. I'll check it out. Thanks, Spider Guy.
It's Spider-Man. Oh well. Should be able to spot the next tower from up there. From his elevated position, Spider Cop spies his destination. A second surveillance tower.
Are you narrating yourself?
What? No, of course not. The Chief never did understand Spider Cop. Thought he was a loose cannon.
Already regretting this.
They're also pretty good in not making you run on bump into walls. Like he evades them a little. The tower, yes.
I can modify these towers to track more than just crimes.
Alright. So yeah, this whole unlocking towers thing is a bit, it's a bit grindy. And like all these...
Score! Towers are picking up all kinds of RFID signals now, including one nearby. What is that?
That's a weird way of saying it. Like, they're showing all kinds of RFID signals. So the thing is, crimes are not RFID signals. RFID is like a little, well, sort of like a computer chip that you have in your pocket that when you send broadcast waves to it, kind of sends something back, but it's passive, it doesn't have batteries. Like, essentially, it's a string of wire, like a wire spiral. You see them often on, like, they're fairly short range. You see them often on price tags, for instance. And then, they contain, like, the price and things like that, and some other info, and that's it's also used like as a theft protection tag. That's why in some stores, when you get something, they will take off the price tag because there is an RFID tag behind it. But like I think what they meant to say is, but the voice actor wasn't told apparently. It can show all kinds of RFID tags now. Okay, where was it? I got a little far, it seems. Oh no, Spidey went too far. Whoops! Didn't mean to. Where is it? Huh.
One of my old backpacks from high school. Forgot I attached tracking dots to these. Wonder how many of these are scattered around the city.
Find backpacks to earn backpack tokens, which you can spend to craft better gear. So now this, like lore-wise, this seems to be a little dubious. Like I've read the Spider-Man comics, and in the comics it was always that his webbing dissolved after a while, which was why it, you know, was okay for him to, like, tie up people somewhere or whatever, you know, stick them to the wall. It would, you know, the webbing would last long enough until the police arrived. But, you know, if the police didn't arrive or something, they would be let free eventually, and the police didn't have to, like, cut them out in some dangerous way or whatever. Okay, oh, we have a skill point available. So extended perch tack down sounds good. We have a mission. Captain Watanabe needs to talk in person. Wonder what's up. Okay, and we have a list of all the characters here. And that's a moves list. Okay.
The menu from my first real date with MJ. Wish I could have afforded someplace fancier. But she didn't seem to mind.
Okay, so we've got...
Still there? Got a robbery a few blocks away.
Spider Cop's on it. Part man, part spider, all cop.
Anyway, so yeah, and so him like using webbing to glue that backpack to that wall a long time ago and forgetting about it kinda sounds, you know, doesn't quite fit the lore. Oh, I guess that's where we're going. Yep.
Open the safe!
So you know the webbing should have dissolved by now.
Hey, fellas.
Ah! Spider-Man! Shoot him!
That doesn't go too well. Okay. Whoops.
More of them? Guys, if you worked this hard at a legit job, you wouldn't need to be criminals.
Okay, we got them all. That was fun. I always wanted to do that right and left button thing.
All right, Yuri. I'm gonna repair the last Chinatown tower now.
Don't you mean Spider Cop's gonna repair it?
Been doing a little thinking, Yuri. Policing's a young man's game, and Spider Cop, well, he's no spring chicken.
Please be going where I think you're going.
As of today, Spider Cop is officially retired.
Oh, thank God. I need a drink.
We'll all drink tonight, Yuri. Drink to the memory of Spider Cop's tireless... Yuri? Yuri, you there? Guess the emotion of the moment overwhelmed her.
Oh, one building early. Premature building landing. That looks good. Now we can go up here and... Ooh, we didn't even miss the tower this time.
To any available units, 1182 along the northbound side.
plus 5% swim speed. That's nice. Swim speed?
Not good. Can't have people taking pictures of my 3 chest hairs. Tools I need for suit repair at the lab. Wonder if Dr. Octavius is left for the day.
I like how alive the city seems. Like, you have helicopters flying across and pigeons.
Doctor, how did it go with the committee? I'm so sorry I screwed things up.
Not at all, Peter. They're just nervous in the face of imminent triumph. They'll calm down. They always do.
Should I head back to the lab for cleanup?
No. I'm stepping out for dinner anyhow. We'll resume tomorrow. Short break, then back to creating the future.
Wish I could bottle and sell that man's optimism. Sounds like he's left the lab for the day. Good time to work on my suit in private.
Run up there. Because I think we had a green thing somewhere here.
Need response to a break-in. Officers needed in Gramercy. Please copy.
I also wonder, like, if the
tried mixing up a prototype web fluid at Oscorp while Harry had his internship there. Didn't work. That place has always been bad luck for me.
Where was I? I lost my train of thought. Sorry, I guess we'll just continue. I like how alive the city seems. That's what I meant to say. And there's a lot of collectibles here. And it's kind of fun to swing through the city, even if you're not that good at it. You see, like it's Haha. Whoa, I even landed early enough. Just realized that, oh, that would be the right roof if I landed there, so I didn't continue.
Muggings in the area. Need immediate response in Chelsea. Over.
Oh yeah, the different boroughs of New York. It's nice that they're, you know, like mentioning all that, because like Spider-Man is like the New York hero, and that was, you know, like always something that set apart Marvel from DC Comics. You know, that DC Comics had these made-up cities like Coast City and Star City and Metropolis and what was the other ones? Well-known ones. Well, anyway, Central City and a few others, like they always had those. And this is also a nice detail. You actually swipe your card. Like, this is typical, you know, like someone in the AAA game got paid for doing a few extra animations.
Time to sneak in some spider work.
Because, you know, like, someone can do the level design, and then someone can come in and add all these small details. So, there's really no reason to, you know, this is something that can be done simultaneously, and that makes the game feel better. But it doesn't actually, you know, it makes it feel more real in some ways, but on the other hand, it doesn't really make the game a better game in the sense of that it doesn't have any effect on gameplay. But it's a nice little detail, so I appreciate it. But like, you know, sometimes you think like, could there, and no, there couldn't, because it's different people doing that. Like people who add little details like that all over the map, and like, you know, like things like greeting pedestrians or whatever. Those are things that you can just, you know, like throw in. If you have a button that's not used in that mechanic, then you go like, hey, I can take advantage of that. And so that's a completely different developer than the one that actually works out like the actual mechanics in other spots. At least it can be, you know, and so that's why you can do things like that and make a game feel really rounded when some core mechanic parts might be a little rougher in comparison. Okay, so we have a few more analysis things to do.
What was Doc working on with this?
Subtractive line overlaps and absorption line, they cancel out. Okay, again, I don't know if this is actually real in like spectrography, but it makes for a nice puzzle and it gets more interesting over time. Let's see, we need 2 lines. I guess the only ones with I mean, this doesn't have, so this is the only one that has lines in the right spots. And so we need this one. Okay. And now this one is the only additive one left. And we have a subtractive one that fits the stuff that we don't want from it.
Great conductivity. Not sure about long-term wear and tear, though. Might delaminate easily.
Delaminate? I wonder if that's a real world or if it's just, you know, like...
Doc was testing the biocompatibility of graphene.
Okay, you know, or if it's just, you know, I mean, laminating is just covering something in plastic, and maybe they thought that's what they do. Okay, let's see, we need one in the front. And one in the... 2 in the front and 1 in the back. So I guess this one matches 2. And now I guess this one is the only one that's in the right spot. And now I need to eliminate that line. Okay, that works. That's why there's actually 3. And then now they're combining basically everything that I have. And I guess I have this one and this one. Yep. Now I need the 3 in the back. Let's see, this one is 2 of them. And now the only one that has the line we need is this one. Isn't it? Oh, wait. Can we take this one? Nope. Huh. And we can't remove anything. So can we do one of the others differently? So we need 3 lines in the back. Who has I guess this one. That's that one. Can go here. And that one can be the third one. Okay, so how do we do... the one in the front? Oh yeah, this way works. Yeah, see, so you can do... like sometimes there's several matches for an individual one.
Not sure I'd use this as tissue interface.
Alright, so we've done these. But yeah, I like this, that the puzzles like slowly increase in difficulty. It's a nice approach. It's kind of a nice symbol-based.
We really need to get better about organizing our workspace. I think we've got samples of every type of prosthetic in existence.
The grant review was a debacle, yes, but it may also prove to be the inspiration I need. We can no longer simply meet the committee's expectations. We must exceed them.
Alright, so he wants to exceed expectations. That looks promising.
It's amazing how quickly the prosthesis has evolved. I remember when our prototype used parts I ripped out of an old microwave.
Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Do the robot. Do the robot. Zzz, 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 zzz. Wasn't there? Where was the other desk? With the... was it here? Yeah, here's more circuits. Okay, so let's do those.
Doc's hardwiring in a basic spatial mapping system.
Alright. So we can only have a corner here. And a corner here. Something straight. And something straight. We must have these. Otherwise we can't get around these fixed parts. So that means we cannot be straight here. So we'll have to do this way. Okay. And again, backwards is the better approach.
Cool. Arms will have a sense of their surroundings now. Should help with body awareness.
Well, not backwards, but like...
tune the arm's gyro to auto-orient.
Okay, so there's a fixed -1. So that means we have to get to 5. Okay, oh no, that's the wrong way around. Okay, so let's see, we have 4 plus 1s and 1 plus 2. So we need at least the 1 plus 2. And yeah, we need all of those. And now this one should work. Let's see, 1 straight or 1 down. Shouldn't matter. And again, I've used the fixed ones in the spots where I knew there could be no others. So that now I have the ones with not a fixed direction for free use, because you never know where you need those. Okay. Straight one. Plus one. Now we're at 5. And now since we're going through this one, it's at 4 as we wanted it. Yes.
Done. This will really help users maintain their equilibrium while wearing the prosthetic.
So because I saw there had to be a -1 in the end, of course that meant, you know, if I only have 4 +1s, I can never reach, and 4 slots into which to put a plus, then I could never reach 5 with those. So of course one of them had to be a 2, a +2.
Doc's trying to lower the overall power consumption of the prosthetic.
Alright, so we need to get 8. So let's see, what parts do we have here? We have a -1 and a -2, and we have +5 and a +4 and a +2. So, if we need to go through only the one red one, okay, so that's -1. We could make it stronger. But wait, we have +4 and +5 is +9 already. And we have a -1 here. So we only need 2 green slots. So +4 and +5. And we don't even, need to use any of the others. So we just put this corner here and this corner here. And we don't even need the rest of the circuit board. Nice.
Great. Way more efficient. And probably safer, too.
Alright, so we used all of those. Did all of those. That came up new. Oh, what's that?
Graduation. Feels so long ago. I interned for Doc in college. He made me realize I could do as much good for the world in a lab coat as I could in tights. Maybe more.
What's this say? Are those like Nerf sucker darts? Looks like it, doesn't it? Or are these like magnetized pen caps? The rest are just like some equations. I don't really know. A lot of this stuff is probably physics or you know, like organic chemistry,
Doc's
which I'm
made
not
huge
super good at.
breakthroughs his whole career, but he's always been upstaged. Usually by Oscorp. This time, it's going to be different.
The future of neuroprosthetics. Advanced mechanized prosthesis. Prothesis. No, prosthesis. I guess the S is just hidden. Fun fact, in German, which happens to be my native tongue, and now you will all suddenly hear my accent and be really horrified, but in German, it's Prothese, so it doesn't have the S. It's not prosthesis, but it's actually Prothese. It's like spelled the same way as prosthese, like it's an E at the end, not an IS, but apart from that, and of course the first S is missing. There's a hole in the Spidey suit, dear Henry, dear Henry.
Parker!
Dr. Octavius, what you got there?
Chinese. If I know you'd be here, I would have... What are you working on?
Oh, just a side project.
Dun dun dun.
Of course. It's you.
I don't know what
Oh,
you're...
come on, Parker, it's obvious.
Let me explain.
I only wish you told me sooner.
I wanted to, but I was afraid that if word got out, my family might be in danger.
Huh. Yes. I guess if you design his equipment, you're bound to be a target too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry. Your secret's safe. Well, I'll leave you to it.
Check your email. Hope this isn't how Doc fires me.
I like how Doc, like, doesn't even, consider that he might be Spider-Man. He goes like, he's a scientist like me. Of course, he wouldn't be able to do all those dangerous things. And that's kind of cool, to have that, like he thinks like, oh, I'm totally found out, and then he goes like, oh, you're just making the stuff for him. I wonder if they, like, put some extra elements in here. I mean, this is Marvel. At the least we should have adamantium somewhere. Not sure it's on here. I at least don't see anything even starting with A. AG is silver, AU is gold, argentum and aurum, the Latin words for silver and gold. AT is... I don't know what AT is, but it doesn't seem like adamantium would be what it was. Adamantium, maybe, but no. It's probably something else. No, I don't think they... AM? Can't really read it, it's too blurry. But no, it doesn't look like, I think those are all real elements. At least not adamantium. Aunt May at feast. Buy milk. Help Aunt May at feast. Okay. He doesn't write that pretty. Oh. There's a bag of Chinese food there. Can we eat that? I guess not.
The revelation of your second job as Spider-Man suit crafter, is that the right term? Is a reminder of the good man and partner you are. No matter how hard you work, you still find time to help others. I hope you don't mind, but I noticed the suit was a bit damaged, and I took the liberty of sketching up some of my own improvements. Attached are a few ideas I had on how you could enhance his suit and help protect Spider-Man, who does so much for this city. Looking forward to the incredible work that we are doing and changing the world together. Your partner and friend, Otto.
I don't know if you know who Otto Octavius is in the comics. But I love this. I love this Otto Octavius here, and he's in some ways different from the comics. And I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't become the one from the comics now, because I like this one so much more. And I mean, it would be, like if when you're doing, Spider-Man has been running since 1964, I think, maybe it was even 63. Something around that time is when Spider-Man started. And so there's so much story and so many characters that are well known to fans, and that have returned and been reimagined and everything. And so whenever you do a game like this or a new movie, um, it's it's actually, as a fan, it's fun if they use the name of one character for a completely different character. Like if they, like take the name of, I don't know, like I can't think of an example right now, but like, because then as someone who already knows the comic, first you hear that name and you think, oh yeah, obviously this person is, like Peter's uncle or whatever. And then you later found out, no, Peter's uncle in this is actually named, I don't know, not Ben Parker, but George Parker. And this Ben Parker is actually, someone, like the bad sheep of the family or something. And then, like, when you first meet him, you think, okay, he's that nice guy uncle, and you find out there's this other uncle named George, and they might make him a little bit ambiguous, but still nice towards Peter. And so when you find out, like, one uncle, might be the bad guy or something, you will go, okay, it has to be George because Ben is the good guy. And then you find out, no, Ben was actually the name of the bad guy, and the personality we knew as Ben Parker is actually called George in this. So there are some prizes even for fans, or they can, they can lead you in one direction just by mentioning a name. And that's a fun thing to do. I mean, sometimes it's, like, very in your face, but it's still a fun thing to do. I mean, the bad way to do this is like they did it in Star Wars. What's it? Not Star Wars. In the Star Trek is it Into Darkness? Well, the second new Star Trek movie, J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie, where they, like kept saying, like everyone kept saying, well, this character looks a lot like this character we know from the show, and they said, oh no, 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 his name is this other name, and he's a completely different person. And in the end, it turned out, no, it was exactly who we thought it was, and there was really also no surprise and no improvement over the original character when they redid it there. So, kind of trying to play with us in a way like this can go horribly wrong as well. But, so, sometimes it's interesting, especially if it's a character that, we knew. For example, if it's a character we know was good and then turned bad, and they just only tell stories with him as a good guy, or if it's a character we mostly know as a good guy, but then something goes wrong and they turn into a antagonist, like Captain Stacy, who is, Gwen's dad. So of course he's a nice guy. He's the friend of the girlfriend. He's basically Pete's likely future father-in-law. And suddenly something happens to Gwen, and he gets really angry at Spider-Man, and at Peter when he finds out Peter is Spider-Man or something. You can do many things by playing with who a character is, and like turning good characters bad, turning bad characters good, and things like that. The Osborns are similar. They're friends of Peter's family, and then usually they turn out to be bad guys. And sometimes they just start with a straight-out bad guy from the start that just, Peter doesn't know yet is bad, but has been evil all the time. And sometimes they just, have an event that turns them evil. And I like when they play with that in derived universes like this. Because, they have to shortcut and truncate the story a little bit. Okay, so let's see. According to Dr. Carlos Sofan's research, higher contrast leads to slower visual processing. This should give your other employer a slight advantage in conflict. See graph. So, okay, so they make the spider white so that, I guess it's like camouflage, that breaks up a person's shape. And so when there is high contrast in your clothing, camouflage is not like, most people think of camouflage as these brown and green and ochre spots on a soldier's uniform that kind of look like the colors in a forest. And so you think the point is like a chameleon, to look like the same color as that tree. But really the same color is not the main aspect. The main aspect is, since these are spots in a weird pattern, and irregular shapes, when you see this in a forest, it shows up as like 15 smaller dots instead of like one large human shape that is just green. And so when people see you, when you're trying to hide in there, people will not actually make out the human shape, and the human brain is trained to find human faces and human shapes, and that's why they paint like colors across their face as well, with makeup, essentially, because people, that's how people, how it breaks up the shape. And they do that with, like larger items. They're like boats that the army uses that are painted in camouflage, and there is even like computer looking camouflage. So that's not like an affectation of certain sci-fi movies or whatever, that the camouflage looks like a computer pattern. But actually the whole point is it's enough to have these computer-generated patterns to break up the shape, and they make the shape seem less human. Because if there's like a line going through the middle of the human, suddenly it's two very long shapes instead of one shape with two legs on it, which we would automatically recognize as a human, or at least better. And so if there's like a little dark line going through your middle, you're kind of turned into two objects. If a big boat has like lots of vertical lines on it, it shows up like a pier or something in the distance, just a bunch of poles in the water. And only when you look closely, you notice that, oh, maybe that is like a larger shape of a ship. Okay, what else? Combining a carbon fiber weave with silk graphene alloys for higher durability without giving up flexibility. Armored? ? Okay. It's an interesting things that he gives us here. You can now use your tokens to create the advanced suit. Press X to continue. Complete side missions and citywide activities to earn tokens. Hold X to craft the advanced suit. So they don't let us pick anything else. We have to craft this first suit. Even though I actually want the one in the upper right really badly, because that's my favorite costume. New suit and power unlocked. Press X to continue. Crafting a new suit auto-equips the new suit power. Press X to continue. Use the suit power menu to swap back to any previous suit powers you have unlocked. So that's cool that you can, it's not like every suit has a built-in power, but actually just creating a suit unlocks a power in addition to whatever the suit itself does, and then you can equip that power on any other suit. So that's a good compromise between, letting you theme your Spider-Man and giving him abilities that you can pick from. Suits can also be upgraded with suit mods. Unlock and equip suit mods here. Complete side missions and activities to unlock suits, suit powers, and suit mods. Use tokens to create suit mods. Suit mods increase your utility and boost your offense and defense. You can equip 3 suit mods at a time to stack bonus effects.
That should do it.
Alright. So let's see what comes next now that we've upgraded our suit. Does it get shot into pieces right away? Ooh, beauty shot.
Excuse me, late for work!
I wonder if this is like a separate model or if it's all the same.
Looking good, Spidey! Hello, New York! Ha! New suit, same old me.
Spider-Man, I think I figured out how Fisk's men are keeping his rackets running. Construction sites.
Wasn't that shut down when he was arrested?
No, it's one of his legitimate businesses. Multiple investors. We can't act without cause.
But now you've got that, right?
That's why I'm hoping you can keep an eye on the locations. Tell me if you see anything suspicious.
You got it. I'll be your nosy neighborhood Spider-Man.
Okay. Sorry, I'm concentrating on not falling down again. Which of course is much less... Ooh, that was a nice dive.
Yuri,
Ooh,
I'm at a Fisk
low
construction
down.
site, and there's a lot of guys here who aren't exactly constructing.
What are they doing?
I'm gonna go find out. Huh, just got a text from Doc. Looks like he attached an idea for a Spidey gadget. Man, does he ever stop inventing?
With the plans from Otto, you can now craft the impact web. Hold to craft the impact web. Hold X. Impact web unlocked. Unlock new gadgets with tokens or with parts found in missions. You can use tokens to upgrade each target. Earn tokens by completing side missions and citywide activities. And that's basically like the grindiness of this game. Is that like all these activities that you do over city are basically required to level up your stuff, I think. So it's like, I like if they have a few elements over the city that you can, you know, collect if you're completionist, but don't have to. But, you know, like, it feels a little like there's a lot to do here. Just to get the items they expect you to have in the end or something. But we'll see. Also, I think I started a sentence and didn't finish it. I wonder if for those close-ups they have a separate close-up Spidey model, or if that's like the same that they just scaled down for the smaller scenes. You know, it's always a question, like either you have a lot of data to load for a character to be able to, you know, have them in close-ups like that, and in the smaller version on screen, that is data that most of the time you don't need and still gets pushed around and, you know, processed over and over again. Then again, I think it's probably, you know, there is a there is a technique in 3D graphics where objects that are further in the distance are rendered with less detail, and that usually means they generate models in like, you know, 3 or 4 levels of detail, like a very coarse one for when it's shown small, a slightly more detailed for when it's a little closer, an even more detailed one for when it's, you know, like in front of you, and then a very detailed one for like cutscenes or when you're standing right in front of it. And then as you near an enemy, they will swap out the model, like just from one frame to the next they will use the more detailed one because the character is now close enough to warrant all that detail. And that and then, you know, like it's heavily scaled down, but it's still not as much data to scale down, because like a high resolution texture is like 4 times as large as the lower resolution version. So if you don't have to, you know, if you have lots of buildings in the background, you want to load the low resolution textures and also the low resolution models. You know, it's just like a box and like the little dent in a few places has been, you know, removed, and you know, so it's a simpler shape that is drawn more quickly and uses less processing power. And so you can have 500 buildings in the back with low detail and 10 buildings in the front with higher detail, and it will still perform well. And that's like a common trick. to have like a whole city that you can still see and have you see that far in distance. Old games couldn't do that, and that's why they usually had you in corridors or something. You never were able to look very far.
Wow. This looks like it could work.
Let's see. Can't read this.
L1 is the guard to catch up thing. Okay.
Awesome. Doc would be proud.
Impact webbing is also something that actually comes from Scarlet Spider. Alright, let's see. Scan. He's in view of someone. Is there anyone who's standing around? Ooh.
So let me give you rule number 1. You do not want to be late with a shipment. Ever. Boss runs a tight ship.
Nap time.
We had this guy. He decided to stop off.
That didn't sound good. I mean, technically that should have killed him.
You know what I mean? We get paid well because we deliver. Every time, on time. Got it?
Everyone knows not to mess with us.
They see each other. That one is safe. Okay, let's tie this one up. It's nice that we could just hang them there and nobody from further away sees them. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Ooh. I don't think anyone saw me.
Nothing over here.
What, over where? Alright, let's see. Are you... You're in view of these others. What was the... Didn't I have a ability to aim? Oh, here.
Anyone else hear that?
Still sees someone. Oh, but you could be available now. You're safe. Okay. Good. Gotcha. It's always like finding someone who is alone and not in view of someone else. At least they have nice big labels saying Fisk on their backs. That one would actually be... Oh, that one as well. Ouch. We're a little more violent with that one. Gotcha. Anyone left? Okay.
Got a funny feeling. Get some of the boys up here.
How many of you are there? Are you safe to take? No, you are not. And those over there. Can I? Will that guide you? How can I distract you? Nope.
Should have been a dental technician.
All too close together. The others are just hanging around. Do I have to go out of stealth for these, or can I?
Anybody comes here has to be suicidal.
Oh. Am I out of web or what? Oh, it's still set to impact web? Whoops.
Anyone's there? Show yourself!
Imagining things.
Still danger. But maybe that, oh.
Nothing over here. We got trouble. Can anyone hear me? Anyone else?
There he is! Open fire!
Okay, we've gotcha. Whoops.
More of them.
Here comes the pace.
Spider-Man, turns out
Whoa,
we busted
whoa.
4 illegal firearms dealers within a 3-block radius of that site.
Gun running. Let's see what I can do to cut down the supply.
Bring it, ballerina, is that what they say? Ooh, combos. Wave 4. Your new suit comes with a suit power. Suit powers give you special abilities. Your current suit power continuously builds focus. Once used, your suit power will regenerate over time. Press left and right to activate your suit power.
Dang, looks like they called their buddies.
Oh. Whoa. Took a bit of damage there. Ooh. Did the amazing maneuver.
Shut your mouth!
Oh, hey, more guys.
Amazing all you can do with just hitting square buttons.
The door. Unless you're not wearing socks, in which case, buy some socks already.
Whoop.
Oh, I'm tired. So am I.
Whoa. This flashbang effect is really good, but also really annoying. Whoops. I need more.
You want some? Mr. Fisk says
webs off me!
Whoa. No, no, no. So little health.
That Davy!
Anyone want to surrender? No?
Whoops.
Roger!
Come on. Aw, I died. You see what happens? They just let me die. Oh, they'll immediately attack me again. I managed to avoid that one. Great. Don't like that one. The stop motion effect.
Oh, hey, more guys. Welcome to the party. House rules. Leave your shoes at the door. Unless you're not wearing socks, in which case, buy some socks already.
Don't let him get you airborne!
Whoa. No.
That's not fair! You don't mess with the Kingpin and live!
Whoa.
How was he beating us?
Okay.
Anyone want to surrender?
Got that one.
No?
Okay, managed to get them in the air. Last one. Oh, good. Okay.
Eat this!
Whoops.
Gift from the boss!
Oh, whoa, whoa.
We can't let him win!
Okay, we got this one. Where's the last one?
Spider-Man!
Okay, got him. Okay. That was just the slow motion was confusing me why he was falling so slow.
Actually, web down.
And someone finally reported shots fired, so I've got officers inbound. Good work.
Alright.
Fisk has more construction sites throughout the city, vetting their fronts too. Keep an eye out, and report in if you see anything suspicious.
Alright. We got 2 base tokens.
If I'm gonna find all of Fisk's construction sites, I should recalibrate my mapping software to be more accurate. Using a depth-mapped post-process on photos of popular landmarks should do it. And I know just the one to start with.
That's a bit of, you know, like a bit exaggeration here. A depth map post-processing, yeah, that exists somewhere on pictures, but why of landmarks? Really? Concentrate here.
Peter, good news. I think I smoothed things over with the grant committee. If Lance Corporal Texador's fitting tomorrow goes well, we should be okay.
That's fantastic, Doc. We're back on track.
Provisionally, as long as our little incident escaped the mayor's attention. You be at the fitting tomorrow?
Definitely. Good old Empire State. Man, I love this town. Time to grab a snapshot.
That was a bit abrupt. I guess I was too fast for the conversation to finish before I hit this tutorial spot. Okay, equip my camera. L2 to aim. Subject in frame. R1 to take a picture. Okay.
That'll do it. Map should be recalibrated now. Haven't done much photography since quitting the Bugle. Forgot how much I enjoy it. Should keep an eye out for more landmarks to shoot.
Alright. I guess it's called a landmark, so that's why. Oh, that is the Empire State Building? Okay, and it just disappeared, I think. Let's find... here are more landmarks. Okay. Let's see. I have, there's method to this madness.
Huh, it's Mr. Lee. Hello?
Peter, it's Martin Lee. I just wanted to let you know we need a little extra time to get set for May's party. I guess the cake delivery is stuck in traffic.
Oh, sure thing. Just let me know when you're ready and I'll swing by.
Great. Talk to you soon.
Okay, got some time to kill. Let's see what's happening out in the city.
Okay, got stuck on the ledge there, but okay. Across the city. I wonder how this would be if I'd ever been in New York, if this would feel real.
Possible narcotics sale reported. Nearest unit, please respond.
Hey, Doc. Sorry about that. You were saying you've smoothed things over with the grant committee?
Provisionally, as long as our little incident escaped the mayor's attention. You'll be at the fitting tomorrow?
Definitely. It'll go great. We're gonna change the world, Doc.
I'll settle for not starting any more fires. See you tomorrow, Peter. Here's to a successful day.
Huh, that's interesting. They're actually continuing the message, and the interruption felt really natural.
All units, we have a vehicle pursuit in progress. Mobilize on Dutchtown.
I wonder if that's...
Hi, Mr. Lee.
Hey, Peter. We're all set for the party whenever you're ready.
Cool. I'm on my way.
And I'm kind of wondering how they, you know, like, if they just knew that you'd get this mission at that point and you'd still have the other objective, and so calculated, okay, the fastest you can get there is this, and so if you're close enough by that time, we'll just interrupt at that point and then restart, or if it's just they made every sentence resumable. That sounds like a lot of work. But, you know, it's not an easy problem to do. It's L3 to perch near a ledge. Where is our landmark? Oh, down there. Okay.
Come on, get away. It really is you.
Like, lift something heavy?
What is this? Oh, right, I have to aim.
No,
Let's see if we can take a nicer picture, maybe. Yeah. And I think that's all we need. So let's see, suits. Because I mentioned I wanted that one suit. Oh, it's 2 landmark tokens, but 3 crime tokens, so we need to do a few more crimes. Not, like, commit crimes, but, like, solve them.
Confucius Plaza.
Is that another landmark?
Attention units. Reports of a narcotic sale in progress. Reports are coming from the lower east side. Over.
Narcotic sale? Is it somewhere down there?
Get the hell out of me!
Don't fall down.
What the? Yeah, talk, Spider-Man.
Where's the narcotic sale?
You're scaring me, Spider-Man, right?
Somewhere up there, I guess.
Got me there.
More illegal. How'd a guy like you get his Spider-Man?
Whoops. Oh, there's a brute.
Gotta be honest, not a fan of Big Pharma. Especially back alley Big Pharma.
Whoops. Come on. Whoa, whoa, okay. Okay.
Drugs are maybe my most disliked criminal activity. Definitely top 5. Or bottom 5. However that works.
Alright, where are more crimes?
Good news! The police are coming to protect you.
There's another down there somewhere. Huh, there it is. Nope. Hospital bill. Oh, I didn't look at it. Huh, it's on the heart clinic. I hope he didn't forget to pay that one.
1034. Assault currently in progress. Need additional units to the lower east side.
Oh, there's another thing to photograph.
Mott Street, the main street of Chinatown. Touristy, but fun.
Alright, and... Whoops. Kind of like that catapulting thing that you can do.
I can't let him hurt that victim anymore.
You made us look like jerks.
Whoops.
Sure. You know no one.
Spider-Man! Try hitting me. Spoiler, I hit back. Hi, Mr. Muggins. This is about the rent.
Mr. Parker, this call reserved is your third and final one. Eviction proceedings.
Wait, I get paid at the end of the week. I get... Ugh.
Eviction proceedings will start Friday unless full payment is received by close of business. Good day.
Yeah, good day.
Alright. Whoops. I just wanted to say hi, but I can't. Apparently victims don't get greeted. Okay, so let's see if we've got enough for that suit now. 5 crime tokens. Yes, we do. Okay, so let's craft that suit. Nice. Doesn't it look cool? I don't know, I like this design. Like, it still has the red and blue from Spider-Man going, but it looks a little more normal, you know. Not that I dislike the old Spider-Man suit, but just when I saw that, I thought, like, cool. I know some people are not too big a fan.
All units, we have a vehicle pursuit in progress. Mobilize at touchdown.
Whoa, I love flying around like this. I hope it doesn't make
Now,
you
where did I put my
seasick.
bag?
Attention units, we have a break-in in progress. Mobilize at touchdown.
There's a bag.
Mr. Lee's probably in the kitchen getting ready for the party.
Alright. Oh, can we go up there? Is there anything? I've never gone up here. Cool. Can I jump? No. Peter can't do anything. He can't jump, he can't anything. Oh. What's this? Oh, I guess that's May's desk. And that's Uncle Ben with little Peter or something? Kinda seems like that might be it.
Man, was I ever a dork. Well,
nice.
we all have an awkward phase.
Okay, so those are probably pictures of Peter. And this is probably May's office. Interesting.
I could patch
Here.
some shoes. They'll last a while.
I like this detail. You know, like you need to make spaces large to feel real, but on the other hand, you don't want people to get lost.
Veteran homelessness is down, but still way too high. Good thing my buddy Flash Thompson's doing his best to fix that.
Oh, that's also something from the comics. Like Flash Thompson was the bully who beat Peter up in the early issues, and later he becomes a
safe with the other shelter.
soldier and
I have never had
even gets wounded in war at some point. And I didn't actually pay attention to what she mumbled. It would have been a nice backdrop. Recovery time objective. Anyway, so Yeah. So, and Flash Thompson is a veteran and helps other veterans, which is cool. There's a bit more to his story, but I'm not sure how much I should mention, because if Flash shows up in this game, I don't know, then you would want to... Oh, cool, laundry room. You know, then he would... You would want to not spoil anything that he's done in the comics, maybe. Believe you can, and you are halfway there. Okay, I guess that is more a believe in yourself poster. Huh. It's nice that you can walk around on all those levels.
Hey, Peter. What's up?
Just dropping in.
Ernie. I think Ernie might have been the name of a friend of Aunt May's.
Hey, Martin, so sorry I'm late.
You were right on time. Just keep her distracted while we get everything ready.
You got it. Hey, there's my favorite aunt.
Peter, what a nice surprise.
Need some help?
Yeah, sure. Oh, there are some heavy boxes.
No. I mean, not yet. I mean, I came to, I just wanted to talk.
Okay. Okay. Peter, are you in trouble? Do you need money?
No, I mean, I'm a little behind on my rent, but no, I'm fine.
Girl problems again, huh?
What? No, that's crazy.
I still wish you and MJ could work things out. She's a great girl.
She is, but...
The two of you would make some beautiful babies. Peter. What is it? Come on. You can tell me.
These past few years, you helping me through college and working here, and sacrificing so much and asking for nothing. I just wish there were more people like you in the world.
He's right. 5 years ago, you walked in here and told me you were inspired by my mission to help others. Now it's you who inspires me. Thank you, May, for everything. Here's for many more years of service.
May is an awesome character design.
Thanks again for setting all this up.
Oh, I just wish I could do more.
Well, May's always told me if you help someone,
you help everyone. Maybe we should send May to City Hall to have a word with the mayor.
Oh, I gotta run. Thanks again for the party and everything. It really means a lot.
The phone buzzed again in the controller.
Should check it outside.
Anyway. Yeah, so May looks a little different than she does in the comics, where she's like white-haired and has a taller face and, like, you know, more like 60s style, and I like how they updated May for you know, like general, like everyone here is designed more contemporary, and Spider-Man...
Your aunt's in the back, I think.
Thanks.
I guess I should have walked in this way.
Hey guys, how's the game going?
How's it look like it's going? I'm winning.
Get this guy checked for dementia, Pete. I'm crushing him.
Well, the important thing is having fun.
I have a lot of fun whooping his ass.
And your dreams, crazy lady. Want a game, Pete? We play for peanuts.
No. Too rich for my blood. I'll leave you to it.
I also like, did you see, like, May's face when he said, like, oh...
You too.
You know, when they said, like, when they said, when he said, you know, like, thank you for everything and things like that, and her lips just twitched slightly, and it was like really. I don't know what motion capture technology they use for the face, but it almost feels at the level of L.A. Noire, kind of that where they essentially like captured the entire face of a real actor. Like I think these are all just still modeled faces, and they're just like controlled by the movements from an actor's face. They're not actual scanned human faces. And you can tell they still look a little bit dead in some spots, but it's a good compromise because like it's hard in a computer game to make a face look real, and so if you make it look a little bit cartoonish, then people will just immediately look at it and say, well, it's a little exaggerated, it's cartoonish, and will give it a pass. On the other hand, if it looks really natural and then the computer just like something is not right, is all like that your head says, because it's still only a simulation, and we're not there where we can actually simulate a real face. And since humans are so practiced in seeing real human faces, because that's like we recognize human faces all day long, and we try to read their expressions and things because like, do they want to hurt us? Do they want to help us? Can we help them? All these things go through our minds every time we see a face. And so the sweet spot for most computer games is like this one, where it's superficially very realistic and natural, but just slightly cartoonish, and that way we give it a pass, but it still seems totally realistic to us.
Peter, right? Your aunt's been showing off baby pictures. Gloria, I'm new here. Spider-Man turned me on to this place.
Oh, right. I mean, great. How do you like it?
They're good people. I might stick around for a little while.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help, just say the word.
Okay, so she came. That's nice. So let's see what Yuri wants from us. The amazing Scarlet Spider. There was a great story called... Well, great story. Well, there was a story at some point where a clone was made of Spider-Man. And we thought that clone was dead. And then at some point...
Voicemail from Yuri.
Hey, silent alarm at the auction house holding Fisk's estate sale just tripped. Could you check it out? Quietly? I don't want to make a scene if it's nothing.
Fisk estate sale. Sounds fun. Wonder what the Kingpin had hidden in his closets.
Yeah, so, and so, at some point, the clone actually returned.
Reported. Need an officer on the scene. Officers near Gramercy, please report.
Because, the clone had survived, and so, Peter would, so after a fight between, basically the clone and Peter, it was a little...
Peter, I lost track of you at the party.
Yeah, I had to get to the lab. Sorry.
Don't apologize. I just wanted to tell you how much what you said meant to me. I always wonder if I'm doing right by you.
Well, stop wondering. After losing my parents and Uncle Ben, there are so many times I would have fallen apart if not for you.
Well, that works both ways, Peter. I just wanted to make sure you knew that.
May, I don't know what to say.
Oh, I think Mr. Lee needs my help. I should go. See you soon, dear. I love you.
Love you too.
So yeah, and so there was this whole story that kind of got aborted, where...
Armed robbery reported. Please respond. Available officers, please proceed to Bryant. Over.
I think we'll just ignore that for now. Oops, sorry. And anyway, so there was a clone of Spider-Man. That was the important part of what I wanted to say. And they ended up fighting, but the clone, wasn't really evil. It was more that the clone was kind of influenced by an enemy. But the clone was really, just Spider-Man as well. And then the clone that we thought died after the battle actually survived. And funnily, yeah, I'm so concentrating on not falling down here, especially through Central Park.
Attention units, we've got reports of armed mugging. Location is Firehouse on the west side.
Anyway, and so there was a story that was originally intended to be about the fact that actually
I should look for more towers to activate.
the Spider-Man who had
Yuri, sit quietly.
Attention units, robbery in progress. Suspects are armed. Officers needed in the area of Columbia.
Supposed to go there, okay. At some point they wanted to modernize Spider-Man and kind of get rid of some of the story baggage that Spidey had. And so what they did was they said, hey, look, back then when Spider-Man the clone fought, Spider-Man actually got buried in the rubble and the clone walked out and thought he was the real Spider-Man and picked up Spider-Man's life, and that who you have been following all this time. And that's fine because, he was a good person, everything, so it's fine. And the Spider-Man that woke up kind of thought he was the clone. I think the enemy actually made him think that as well, I'm not sure. And so took on the name of Ben Reilly and walked around and left New York. Whoops. That wasn't quite the intention. And so when and then he came back at some point to New York. I don't know what his reason was. I think there was a series of murders or something that led him back to New York. And so they run into each other and kind of after a while just go, okay, I guess we're both kind of Peter Parker and we want to do good, so it's okay. And none of them really was sure who was the real one and who was the fake one. Because each one had memories of, being the clone, being guided by this enemy, and of being, the real Peter Parker. And so what the original intention was to do was to then have Ben Reilly, the real Peter Parker, become Spider-Man in New York, and the clone, the Peter Parker we had been following for the last couple of years, who had this complicated history, just said, hey, you know what, I'll retire with MJ. And I don't know if they had a child at that point, or didn't, not born yet, but I think she might have been pregnant or something, and he might have promised her, okay, I'm doing this because I don't want to endanger the child. And now there is a Spider-Man, so he really doesn't have an excuse. And yeah, and so that was Ben Reilly. But then while this storyline was unfolding, at some point Marvel got cold feet and decided to make it no, actually Ben Reilly was the clone, and the person who gave who did the lab results that showed that Ben Reilly was the real Spider-Man, that person was actually in league with the villain and was trying to confuse Spider-Man by getting this clone to take over. And Ben Reilly was eventually killed. And so and that's basically where this costume comes from, because for a while Ben Reilly wore this more modern Scarlet Spider costume and called himself.
May from Queens writes, "You're so full of anger and I wish you'd get help managing it. It's terrible for your health." Now I know she speaks from a place of concern, but this is a common misconception that I have to correct. I'm not full of anger. I'm full of love. I call out injustice, corruption, and crimes against humanity because I adore this city, and I want it to be better. What you hear in my voice, it's love. Nothing but love.
I like that. Jameson is good.
A break-in was just
Anyway, so that's where this costume comes from, and I really liked the idea, you know, because at the beginning of the story, the way it was originally intended, this was like one of the first times where clones weren't treated as disposable things, but, you know, a clone was an actual, real human being. And sadly, they didn't follow up on that, but I always kind of mourn the potential that Ben Reilly had. And so that's why why this stream has this title, and why I wanted to unlock this costume. And also because, like, at the time I was a teenager reading those comic books, and I really thought this costume looked cool, and I think it still does. I mean, this one is slightly updated, like the original one was... It didn't have as much texture to the red parts, which I think is an improvement, the texture.
Losing patience.
Sorry.
Where is the file?
There's someone else here. They must have taken it.
Those masks. Who are these guys?
There's no one here but us. We will find the file, or you will die.
This is bad. They'll kill her if I alert them. Need to pick them off silently. Yuri, the silent alarm was legit. Masked gunmen and a single hostage. Looks like a heist in progress.
Copy that. Sending units your way. Keep the situation from getting worse in the meantime.
Can do.
Stay vigilant. Okay. That reminds me, do we have skill points that we can spend? Skills. We have 2, yes, and this one takes 2. Stealth takedowns can generate much more focus. That sounds good. Focus means more healing. And this one costs 2. Upgrades web strike takedown moves so that nearby enemies are knocked back. Pistol and baton yank. Shield yank. Oh, and rocket launcher. That's good. So to get to that one, we'll unlock the first one, because yanking the shield away from someone, that's really nice. That's something that will make life a lot easier, I think.
Gotta do this quietly. Don't want to alert the others.
Hold L2 to aim at the floor. I guess that's what I already... Press R1 to fire the web shooter. He heard something. Yes. So I guess I was supposed to...
up like that.
They look so cozy, man. That's like typical Spider-Man, you know. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we can go back there, I guess.
Really hope these guys aren't trying to claim Kingpin's territory. I was hoping for at least a weekend of R&R. Should web him from above.
Vent takedown. Again. Good.
Whoa, careful.
Get behind an enemy for a stealth takedown. Okay. Button. Square.
You stay quiet now.
You stay quiet. You quiet now. It sounds like a Vorcha from Mass Effect. Let's go up.
Someone's coming.
不对，怎么回事？
Gotcha.
枪只不过是工具，我才是武器。
Where's the other person? Nowhere. Okay. So where do I go now? Oh, there's a vent. That's good.
Wears thin.
Someone else is here. I swear. She must have the file.
If they're here, where are they?
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know.
Move it, Pete. Bad guys are getting ready to be bad.
这城市需要教训。
Okay, so how do I get... Oh, I can get out there, I guess. Be some place to perch. Okay, press R3 to show enemy that are safe to take down. Enemies with danger icons will cause you to be detected by nearby enemies if they're attacked. You can lure enemies by webbing nearby surfaces or objects to cause a distraction. Yes, that's what I did in the other, when I took down the ones in the other one. You can lure enemies by webbing nearby surfaces or objects to cause a distraction. Can I?
我去确认一下。
Literally didn't see that coming.
Do it this way.
Hey, what is that? This totally belongs to...
Don't move.
Buddy, if I had a nickel for every don't move...
Hey, Pete.
MJ? What are you doing here?
Same as you. Working. At least, I was.
Oh, I think this is yours.
Yeah, thanks.
So, Robbie's got you covering a break-in for the Bugle?
Well, Robbie doesn't technically know I'm here. And it wasn't a break-in until a few minutes ago.
Uh-huh?
Let me explain.
Ooh, 15 minutes earlier. Wait, do we get to play as MJ? Do we?
Excuse me.
Hi, Mary Jane Watson. I'm covering the Fisk estate sale.
Hello. Craig said we'd do this tomorrow.
I like to get a jump on things.
Well, I don't. You'll have to come back tomorrow.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry. Hey, Craig? No, sorry, it looks like we're gonna have to run something else on the cover. I don't know, maybe the expressionist piece?
You know what? I think I can make today work.
Are you sure?
You're here. No moment like the present.
Thank you. Craig? Never mind. We're good.
Let's get started. Look around and familiarize yourself with the items. I'll be waiting by the Baku statue when you're ready to begin.
Can do.
Theater mask, 18th century.
Does it? But I never totally loved the heroes hiding behind masks thing. Feels like part of being a hero is standing behind your actions. Being willing to say, yeah, that was me. That's the sort of hero I'd want to be, at least.
A group of No and Kyogen masks from the Edo period. Most notable is Buaku, the demon hiding sorrowful eyes. I like that, you know, like they take these, like things that people have probably asked about, like Marvel heroes and superheroes in general, and put them in MJ's mouth. Like, you know, just making it more like, you know, it makes it feel more real.
Fisk cut Peter open like a pork sausage with this the first time they fought. Pete got away, collapsed in my yard half dead, and I had to steal my dad's car to drive him to the ER.
Katana.
Too many Nurse MJ moments. Too many.
Katana, 14th century. A katana blade attributed to Masamune. Hilt rewrapped in early 19th century. Well, they have all the catering already here, it seems, for tomorrow. It seems a little... Wait, are those like full champagne bottles? Because, like, wouldn't you cool them or something? Seems a little weird to have all of that already out if it's tomorrow. Sengoku period samurai, 16th century.
Illegally importing artifacts like this. He bought the local harbor to cover his tracks and laid off the old staff, including my dad. Wish Dad was here now to see how the tables have turned.
Most likely depicts Yamamoto Kansuke, the blind swordsman, known for dispensing justice on his own terms. Hand-rolled cigars, 20th century.
Simcaria. Weren't they just in the news?
Luxury product of Simcaria, manufactured exclusively for royalty. So Simcaria is, if you know Marvel Comics, you know that that's one of the fictional countries in the Marvel Universe. And that there are very specific people who come from there. So, that's a nice, actually, and people that Spider-Man had to deal with. I'm not sure if they're directly, like if they originated in Spider-Man or if they just were handed around between different Marvel heroes. But yeah, it's interesting.
Sometimes I feel like the whole history of the world is just boys playing dress-up, getting into fights.
Tatami armor, 15th century, rumored to have been worn by a young Ronin who challenged a tyrannical, illegitimate leader. Would be kind of funny if you got into trouble here and MJ would put on the Ronin armor, you know, and become a superhero on her own.
I can't get over this image. So much tension between these two figures.
Tapestry, 17th century, depicts two Neo-Guardians, Mishaku Kongo and Narain Kongo.
Let me know when you're ready to begin.
Sounds good.
Anything else? Yes.
Always hated this cane. So tacky.
Walking cane, 20th century, very rare enamel, jeweled and pearl set walking cane with concealed features. I think that was the Kingpin's walking cane. Like he actually like has a cane sometimes when he walks around, and I think it might have like a sword in it or something. I think that's what the concealed features refer to.
What did Fisk call this? Vanessa?
Cello, 18th century, Milan or Bologna, famously owned by Benito Mussolini prior to his death. Called it Vanessa. Now, Vanessa, if you've seen Daredevil, the Netflix show, you know this, or if you read the comics, was Fisk's wife, who in the comics died.
Kyoto. So beautiful. Part of me wishes I could drop everything and travel the world. But life and work are here.
Oil landscape on silk, 19th century, depicts travelers outside Kyoto. I like this art, like, you know, virtual museums, totally my thing. Oh, there's one more.
Brought hidden crimes to light. We got an old school investigative journalist over here. I like her.
Image of a young maiden who brought a corrupt dynasty's hidden crimes to light, causing it to collapse. Woodcut, 19th century. Nice. Okay, so I think we're done here.
Starting with the prize, a one-of-a-kind Kakemon Baku.
Beautiful. It's a Mifune?
Correct. Mr. Fisk has exceptional taste.
Did you know him well before his arrest?
In a professional context. I handled many of his sales. Let's move on, please.
It's nice that you can roleplay here and just take photos. I mean, some spots seem to be like you're supposed to take a photo, but...
Now, this exquisite piece exemplifies the traditional Tarashikomi puddled ink effect.
The two Neo are so imposing. I can see why Fisk liked this piece. Definitely his style.
He loved the duality. Destruction screams, but creation toils in silence.
Was there ever anything irregular in any of the sales you handled for him?
No. No, of course not. Not that I was aware of. Notice the intricate gold inlay on this ceremonial tea set.
It's just... a friend in the DA's office mentioned that Fisk used art sales to launder stolen goods.
I'm sure I wouldn't know anything about that. Your readers will want to see this. Make sure you get a photo.
Oh, I know. I was just wondering, now that he's arrested, if you had ever noticed anything strange.
You know what? I'm actually running short of time. Why don't we grab the cover photo while we can?
When I told my DA friend I was doing a piece on you, he mentioned your name was familiar.
Just the photo, please. Stand right there.
Are you sure there's nothing you'd like to say, maybe off the record, regarding Fisk's activities?
I don't think your readers would have any interest in... Damn it. Wait here, please.
Wait. I recognize that statue. Got it.
Craig, I'll call you back. My dear, I think it's time for you to go.
Oh, could I use the restroom real quick?
Fine. Follow me.
Thank you. This is a really lovely space.
It is. And this will be the last time you see it. The ladies is around the corner. Be quick.
Of course. Be right back.
Oh, I guess that's where they auction off things.
Hello, Craig. Funny you should call. Because the reporter you sent is clearly not working the puff piece we agreed upon. No, she's here now.
I've got to get into that back room. If that statue is what I think it is, this just turned into a huge story.
What do you mean he had to reschedule?
When people are suspicious, a question mark will appear and they will investigate. When you see an exclamation mark, then you've been spotted.
She's not your reporter. Who is she, Craig? Who is in my auction house? Oh my god. No, I do not trust you to fix this. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is have Miss Investigative Journalist arrested. And the second thing I'm going to do is collect your head, Craig.
Dang, she's pissed.
It is most definitely a threat. Uh-huh. Sure, Craig. Right.
Yeah, so how do I get
I don't
past
believe
you?
Uh-huh. Sure, Craig. Wait a second, Craig.
Pete told me about this. Fisk used it to hide evidence. Why didn't the cops take it? I know this statue opens. But how?
Okay, I didn't really do the sneaky right here.
I wonder if there are any clues in here.
I should probably not have run. Maybe I should have gone slower, but I guess it worked. As soon as you're through the door, you're kind of safe.
He's holding something. Statue can move. Most common pose is latent power. Mouth closed, left arm down, right palm facing forward.
Articulate Neo-Guardian statue. Notable for its modular design and 5 distinct points of articulation, the statue can adopt a multitude of poses. The most common is that of the Narayan Congo. Mouth closed, left arm down, right palm facing forward. The pose of latent power conveys the change and chaos that can arise from small events. Alright.
That's the Neo behind them. But it looks different.
Looking right and left arm up. Can't take a photo. Too bad. That might be useful proof.
Maybe these pieces move.
Okay, I can move this one. And mouth closed. I think you looked in this direction. And I think this arm was down.
So close. But a piece is missing. Something's in one of his hands. What is that?
Okay, and that's the same pose, so stick with like bulky things on the end. There are a few things here.
I've seen these before.
This is more in the middle. This one has stuff on the end. Take.
That's it. Norman Osborn. What is this? Devil's breath. What is devil's... What the...
There are clones
Excuse
again.
me. Sir, you can't be...
Not good.
They have weapons.
Where's the statue?
In there.
把文件找出来。
I was on my way to the exit when I saw you.
You're lucky to be alive.
Says the guy I saved 5 minutes ago. Listen, whoever these masked guys are, they're after this file. But I'll never get it out of here while the place is swarming with them.
Right. Okay, you hide back there. I take out the bad guys. You make a break when it's clear.
Sounds like a plan. Good to see you, Pete.
Yeah, you too. Not exactly how I pictured us meeting again, though.
Funny. It's exactly how I pictured it.
Did she change her perfume? Focus, Pete, focus.
Hold L2 to aim. And hold what to zip to the ceiling? R2, that was a little buggy, I guess.
Yes, all right, of course. Should clear these guys out before I push forward.
Okay, there's a guy there. Can I... Oh, drop. Yeah.
Okay, Pete. I'm hidden near the front. Give the word and I'll make a break for it.
Will do. How about that file? What's in it that these guys want so bad?
Notes on something called Devil's Breath. Fisk was hired to build a secret research lab for it. Not clear what Devil's Breath is, but it seemed to scare Fisk. He compares it to Pandora's box.
Not much shook Fisk. We need to get you and that file out of here. Hang tight.
Alright, where do I go next? That's where I came out.
Gotta stay silent.
I guess I can lure you here.
Keep it tight, Pete. There we go. Easy does it.
Please, don't hurt me.
Yes. Gotcha.
Okay, room is clear.
Okay, they're farther away. So can I drop?
Oh man, Fisk had a lot of stuff.
I thought like there was someone walking, but it was just the guy hanging. Luckily.
One room at a time. Clear this out before I continue.
That he doesn't see that is interesting. So he's safe as well. Oops. He was kind of dithering between safe and danger. That's a little weird. Ah, there's a colleague of his. Got you all.
That's all of them.
Good.
Let me go!
MJ,
No. Ouch.
Stop!
No. Hide!
Get in the office!
Not cool with the hostage taking, guys. Whoa, what is up with that glowy stuff on your hands? Are you guys ghosts? Never fought a ghost before. I mean, I've fought specters, but, you know, technically specters aren't ghosts. All ghosts are specters, but not all specters are ghosts. You know what I mean?
Whoops.
Seems like this is an energy thing, not a ghost thing. All good. Fight a ghost stays on the old bucket list.
Okay. Okay. That worked out pretty well. Uh-oh. Not over yet. Does he at least have the file we need? Aw. Whew, okay. I guess I'll just be doing the last phase, I hope. The checkpointing in this game is pretty good, by the way. Okay, I got one. Got one more. Got one on the wall. Oops. Whoa, damn. Okay.
Was it working?
Barely enough health. But I managed it. But again, that's most of what I did was dodge and use the square button to hit someone, and use the triangle button to get to someone.
Help track down where this came from. A job for later.
I just talked to Craig. You are not the reporter he was sending. You don't even work for Heritage Arts.
Never said I did. Hi, Mary Jane Watson, Daily Bugle.
You will not write a word of what you saw
For the
here.
record, what do you know about the file those masked men stole?
I don't...
What about the long history of stolen goods Fisk has laundered at this auction house?
Your editor will be hearing from our attorney.
That TFT is actually cool. You know that she has a camera with a display. And programming that is a little bit of work.
Like the last 6 months never happened?
It's like the restaurant they met, I guess. He mentioned that there was a bill that we collected earlier. But yeah, you know, like when you do a display of something in the room on something else, either you have it pre-rendered, or what I guess in this case, because she was speaking as it happened, was
Mixed with Italian.
No idea, but I'm still
that you
glad
basically render the scene twice.
Totally. Best in the city.
So, how's the grind at the Bugle?
Well, I just got an all-caps text from Robbie about my so-called antics tonight. So it looks like I'll be meeting with the legal team. Again.
As soon as he reads the article you're gonna write, guaranteed promotion.
So, creepy mask guys. What's your take?
Just another night in the city. What's your take?
I feel like there's a bigger story there. Let's not make this all about business. How's it going with you? Did you get that promotion?
No, but we're on the cusp of something really big.
You know Oscorp would hire you in a heartbeat, right? One phone call to Harry.
Sure, but Dr. Octavius's work will help millions. I'm right where I want to be, right where I should be.
Almost sounds like it's more important than your other job. I've never heard you talk like that before.
A lot can change in 6 months.
Why did you ask me here, Pete?
You know, just dinner between friends.
Friends. Is that what we are?
Maybe we could be, if that's what you wanted.
There's a lot of baggage here.
Yeah, sure, but is that so bad? I mean, baggage can carry good things too, like money and keys, and raspberry lip balm.
Do you remember why we broke up?
This is a trick question, isn't it?
Saved by the siren.
Talk to you later.
Go.
Love seeing you two together again. You always were my favorites.
Plump.
Hey, it's me. What's with the units heading down 3rd?
Looks like our old friend Herman Schultz is at it again.
Shocker. Didn't he just get paroled?
Yeah, well, guess it didn't take.
No worries. Herman's just a big cupcake. I'll have him back in Rikers by bedtime. Just had dinner with my ex after saving her from masked criminals. And now I'm gonna go beat up a maniac who uses shockwaves to rob people. What a perfectly normal life you have, Peter Parker.
Alrighty then. And I think this is where we call it a day for this episode.
Don't got time for you.
Yay. What did I want to say when their conversation started?
Heidi, my man.
I got him.
Okay, I guess. Oh.
Peter, I just want to make sure you haven't left any equipment you built for your friend around the lab. It's no bother to me, but if the grant committee stops by again...
Don't worry, Doc. I make a point not to leave anything there. But I know my friend appreciates you looking out for him. There's a lot of people who don't like him very much.
That buffoon Jameson and his audience of sheep? Please. The people who do great things in this world are those who don't let bullies like him stand in their way. People like us.
You said a mouthful, Doc. Take care.
Locked and loaded.
Oh.
I better be more careful with my adoring public.
Okay, so apparently occasionally random people will attack us.
Only been in the city a week and already I run into you. Can't believe it.
Attention unit, we've got a chase in progress. Any officers near Firehouse, please copy.
Alright, yeah, so this is where we'll call it a day. Next stream will be more of this. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm loving this game so far, and oh, there was something Spider-Man lore related I was about to say, wasn't there? Well, I guess it'll probably show up in my brain again, and I'll mention it in the next stream or in one after, who knows. Okay, see you, bye-bye, and remember, I'm not a kitten, I'm a regular human. I'm just doing streaming and talking a lot about game design and game development. I swear.